Alrighty, everyone, welcome on in. Nice to see you. You are watching Hypocritic GG, streaming live on Twitch and YouTube. I'm Loose, call me Cheatspeak. And we are concluding Discovery Month here this evening, this morning, this afternoon, whenever you happen to be watching this, with yet another fun little indie title that we pulled off of the Steam Winter Sale earlier in the month. So here we go. Nice to see you. Here we are again, all together. We love when that happens. And this is Rain World. So this is the last bit of Discovery Month for us, and we're gonna see what it's all about. Excited to dig in, excited to give it a whirl. It certainly looks very cool. It is not Risk of Rain, that's true for it, hello. It's different rain. It doesn't have a monopoly on rain. Who's to really say? I'm already fussing. The mic weighs on the shirt a little bit and messes the collar up, it's fine. I'm going to read a little bit about it because, as usual, we're going in pretty blind on what it's all about. So here's a little primer from Wikipedia. Rain World is a 2017 survival platform video game developed by independent studio Video Cult and published by Akupara Games and Adult Swim Games, of all people. It was released for the PlayStation 4 and Microsoft Windows in March 2017 and Nintendo Switch in December 2018. The player controls an agile slug cat, an animal resembling a cat and a slug that is burdened with survival in a hostile and derelict world. The slug cat traverses the remnants of an industrialized ancient civilization as it searches for family. It uses debris as weapons to evade lethal predators, scavenge for food, and reach safe hibernation rooms before deadly torrential rain arrives. It can be played alone or with multiple players. There is also a sandbox mode. Beginning in 2011, Rain World, funded through Kickstarter, was in development for over 6 years by a two-man team who intended to simulate a unique, realistic ecosystem. Creatures act independently from the player and perpetually roam the environment. Rain World uses procedural animation and conveys much of its narrative through environmental storytelling, adopting an adaptive lo-fi and electronic soundtrack. The player is given little explicit guidance so that they would feel like a rat that lives on the subway tracks, learning to survive in an environment without comprehending its higher level function, which I think is pretty interesting. So we're gonna give it a go. Reviews didn't seem great. You know, I think there's stuff I'm sure we'll be nitpicking as we go, but we're gonna give it a go here and see what it's all about. It looks like there's probably different difficulties here. So let's see, is it too loud? A little too loud. All right, so we've got 3 here. What is this? This Heavy Rain begs to differ. I want to play Heavy Rain so bad. I never have. I don't know too much about it other than, Jason! Jason! Now's your chance to yell Jason. A nimble omnivore, both predator and prey, lost in a harsh environment and indifferent land. Lost in a harsh and indifferent land, I can't read. You must make your own way with wit and caution as your greatest assets. Strong and fierce with a... wow, I really can't... I'm so tired. Strong and quick with a fierce metabolism requiring a steady diet of meat, but the stomach won't be your only concern as the path of the hunter is one of extreme peril. Weak of body but strong of spirit, in tune with the mysteries of the world and empathetic to its creatures, your journey will be a significantly more peaceful one. So that's your difficulty. Let's go in the middle. The Survivor. Here we go, folks. Well, it's very pretty. You give it that much. Well, this is very sad already. Damn. So it's basically Stray, or Stray is basically this. You get separated from your family, and into Rain World you go. Oh dear. And here we are. We love an Xbox 360 controller. Move, jump, throw. I have nothing to throw. Pick up and eat. Pause. Hold RB for map. Or eject out of it entirely? What happened here? Did I mess something up? I must have exited. Okay, anyway. Well, it's certainly got the vibe going right off the bat. How am I today? I'm pretty good. We're tired as usual. You are hungry. Find food. I am hungry. How'd you know? That looks like food, maybe. So you already kind of see he like slops around onto the environment and it's very reactive. Very gooey kind of slug. What does it want me to do? I can climb. Okay. Ooh. Catch and eat them. Is that your food meter? Oh, you kind of chase it around. I'm trying to... 4 is enough to hibernate. Did you know that? Additional food is kept for later. You know, doing good. We've just been busy with stuff for the channel. We've got a lot of cool stuff coming up, which I think we're going to be excited about. We'll talk about that as the stream goes on here. How you doing? How we all feeling out there? He's so gooey and very heavy. The movement is very, very weighty. I can tell you that already. Jump and grab them. They are delicious. The little prompts are nice. You are full. It's such a weird little character, isn't it? This little goopy guy. All right, so we're full, I guess. You have to get your whole... It's like you are moving like just a slug or like a bag of goo, so it's very weighty. Leap the gap. How would you like me to do that? Tell me what you want. This is already unclear. Down. That's too far down. It's so gooey, see? All right, down. Then what do you want me to do? Briefly tap down to crouch. While crouching, hold the jump button without giving any other input. I see. Rain is coming. Find shelter. So we get underground. Run! I see. This place is safe. Stay here to hibernate. Okay. So there's your pretty basic loop, I guess. So I'd heard this kind of vaguely described as sort of a Metroidvania, but it's not really. Right? Go explore. There is food and shelter to be found, but beware of predators. I'm assuming you can't fight back. So you're just sort of in this. I mean, it is... Objects can be picked up, carried, and tossed. I knew that. Is there somewhere you specifically want it to go? So I'm not really sure, you know, the most apt way that people have described this is seemingly a survival platformer, where it's not quite Hollow Knight, it's not quite something like Animal Well. At least you can eat while climbing. What a good multitasker. You kind of have a double jump, kind of. So this is just a food room, I guess. Bat heaven, yo. And I'm assuming the goal is you just sort of go from, you know, end to end on the map and see where you land. It's interesting. It's pretty vibey though, I will say. Oh. Where am I? Oh. I guess you can fight back that way, yeah. These sound like the same synths Animal Well used. How about that? You can do like a wall jump. That looks dangerous. I'm on some kind of ledge. You can climb. There we go. So he's a little more athletic than he looks at first. See, I just kind of fiddled with this wall jump until it worked. Oh, he can sort of... Okay. He can just sort of fiddle fuss his way through these walls. That's interesting. Oh, my pal's back. There's Vinny. Hello. Yeah, we're experimenting with Rain World here tonight to cap off Discovery Month here on the channel. And like we were saying in the intro, 2017 survival platformer. Maybe you don't get eaten by the crocodile is the goal here. Well done. That's one way to do it. Oh, there's more. Oh, he can just slink around too. He got them little arms. Wheezing. Oh, Drake's goes here too. Hello. Is this limbo? Oh no, I got distracted. I was reading chat and I didn't realize. Oh no. So do I just go back to the start of the day? No. Do I go all the way back? Start of the day, yeah? Okay, so it's it's pretty unforgiving in that respect. You better get your shit together. Ooh. Voidling? Necromancer 272. Hello. Hi. Nice to see you. Thanks for popping in. We're experimenting with Rain World here. I'm assuming that's of interest for you here. We're up here now. Well, now I missed some of y'all's chats here. Let's see. Limbo is probably a better comparison to make, right? But I'm not sure. It's all, and like we were saying before, it's all procedurally generated animation. So this all just sort of happens, and it's very cool. So we're kind of getting a feel for the rest of the vibe here. I made Lou lose. You did. Hello, Raider. Immediately squished. Oh, we're gonna complain about Arc Raiders here tonight. Don't you worry. Cycle 1 outskirts. Where am I here? Okay. All right. So we have these sort of like food alcoves, which we need. It is a very quiet game, and that's... I'll bump the sound up a little more, but this is even like cranked up to max. It's going to get too loud at a certain point. If it does get too loud, let me know, because otherwise it is very quiet. It's very atmospheric. There's not a whole lot of music. Unless there's enemies. Yeah, we learned that the hard way. Like Crocodile Man is here. So now we're just playing Donkey Kong Jr. Are those spikes? No, it's just grass. What do you want? Can they climb? Unsure. We got a little hidey hole. Okay. Okay. No. Terrifying. Here is a strange energy. Well, we don't have time to figure out the strange energy. I got a crocodile on my ass. Gonna be a jump scare in the stream going to crash from audio buffer overload. Yeah, probably. He can climb and everything. An old game with the best enemy AI in the world. Good. That is high praise. If you hear music, you know something wants to hurt you or hunt other species like those fellas. Yep, that I'm figuring that out. That is good use for music. It is. It's aural cues for... Is he just like tightrope walking? That's cute. For in-game actions, it's important. Does he just sort of roll? He does just kind of roll. I don't know quite what the little stringy guy is. Oh, Crocky. Yeah, that's right. So we're just poking around with it. Like I said, this is one that we found kind of at random during the Steam Winter Sale, and it seemed interesting. So it was one that I did want to give a try. Mostly the art style, admittedly, kind of drew it to me first. So these floppy crocodiles are procedurally generated or procedurally animated too, yeah? Once you kind of adapt to the weight of it again, it's like kind of moving a big, heavy like beanbag around or like a sandbag. Once you kind of get a feel for the weight of it, it makes a lot more sense. But at first, it's awfully clumsy. Just to sort of get your hands around what's what. So you can probably just kill bats with those, right? So you kind of get those wall jumps. You get maybe one of them, and then you just sort of... Yeah. So you get really meager climbing here. Some food would be nice. If I can munch on these guys. Where's this go? Are we running out of day? The other question is going to be, what does this game consider kind of a safe hideout? And how do I get to them? This also goes somewhere. Nice. What the hell is that? Does it block off areas? No. What? All right, well, we're fed at least. Well, it cues the music, so I know that's not good. I'm gonna assume that thing wants me, like, big dead. That's a good assumption, self. You really gotta have your movements planned out. Only shelters are safe. So you gotta find one as you go, it seems. Okay, we're gonna get far away from this, or directly in front of it. Okay. I'm assuming we just don't want to get stabbed. That's the whole point of this this exercise. And we go directly into a whole bunch of these bastards. Okay. Where am I being dragged? Oh, gone forever. Oh, no. Well, I can catch up on chat here, at any rate. Founded Screen Lady? Did I get that one right? This is genuinely one of my favorite all-time games I've ever played. I have around 1,500 hours in it. That is a lot of hours. And it's a single player with, like, cooperative or multiplayer options, right? That's a lot of time. The story is really good if you can pursue it and get past the difficulty of the game not treating you as a player, per se. That's an interesting thought. Only shelters are safe. I won't say much in terms of progression, but when you sleep, the symbol you gain is important to progression. If you follow the vague direction that little yellow worm points you in, then you will find the story. The game doesn't tell this info, hence me saying it. That is helpful. I was wondering what the little kind of ethereal yellow thing did. So I guess that makes sense. If you die in the game, you die for real. Well, then I'm screwed. Okay, so you do have a full... That was a long point. I don't want to see that again. Everything is very gooey and flowy and again, obviously procedurally animated, so the fluidity is kind of naturally there. So you can't throw upwards, right? Just left and right. So again, you'll have to pardon. We will probably have people, like we've already seen, trickling in and out who know this thing like the back of their hands and are experts in it. So we ask for some patience and bear with us, as like I said, I literally have never poked at this before. We're just kind of experimenting with it, and we're going to see where we end up. I mean, so is this isn't considered a shelter? Is it you have to do it has to kind of lock you down, right? But we also want to eat because we can't hibernate without at least 4. But it behooves you to get extra, right? Because then you don't have to find as much the next day. So it seems like as long as you're just always in motion, the stabby boy doesn't seem to be that much of a threat. Or is less of one. Can I just hide in here? Not from the crocodile. All right, so it wants me up there. That'll work. It's a dangerous world we're in here. So that did something. Shelters are the rooms with square symbols that lock. Makes sense. So this. Here we are. Very clearly a shelter. Okay. So that progresses to the next cycle. It's not a day, it's a cycle. As little cat slug sleeps. So now we're kind of saved there, I assume. The stabby one attacked last time because you ate its baby. Oh, it's a mother. I see. There's so much, I guess, I did read that this is kind of a game that doesn't tell you anything. Because what was it that I had read about it? The line was, the player is given little explicit guidance so that they would feel like a rat that lives on subway tracks, learning to survive in an environment without comprehending its higher level function. And then just for some context here, this is interesting. Rain World received mixed reviews from critics who praised its art design and fluid animation, but criticized its difficulty, checkpoint system, and controls. Some of these concerns were addressed with later updates, so I don't know what kind of flavor. I'm assuming we're getting the newer flavor here. The game was nominated for awards and garnered a cult following in modding community. In January 2023, a downloadable content pack titled Rain World Downpour, which was adapted from a popular community mod, was released for PC and ported to various consoles. Oh, so yeah, it came out ultimately not just on PS4, Windows, and Switch, but PS5, Xbox One, and the Series consoles in July of 2023. Adding 5 Slugcat characters with unique abilities. A second content pack entitled Rain World The Watcher was released on March 28th, 2025 for PC and ported to consoles on September 25th. That's so interesting. So this game really had some legs. So it came out in 2017, ported to Switch in 2018, DLC in 2023 with the rest of its console releases, and then a second DLC in 2025. That's... wow. That's really interesting. Rare that you see that. And I mean, I'm taking a little time here to go off on my tangent, but, you know, how many even, you know, indie games like this see that level of support and adaptation from community content years down the road? That's amazing. Moms do tend to get mad if you eat their babies, Ford says. Yeah, that's true. Real Chicken Manny, hello. Has he rained the world yet? I'm working on it. We haven't gotten caught in the rain yet, so it's possible that we're gonna get rained on it. Luis Santiago, hi. Nice to see everybody. I'm just catching up on chat here before things get too crazy. Necromancer here. I'm kind of a guide for new players too, and only if you want me to, I'll tell you some names of enemies and stuff, facts, tips, or if you're feeling very confused, I can tell you where to go. That is kind of you. I will take you up on that if need be. I'm just catching up on chat here. I'm sorry. I think they're still doing work on The Watcher. I don't know. It seemed like it came out. Released in March, ported to consoles in September. Interesting. The game is very difficult regardless. It pretty much treats the player as just another NPC, so the world is very unfair. When you are a game reviewer critic with little time, you tend to get frustrated, which is why critics really disliked the game and moved on from it quickly. I pulled up the Steam page just now. So many updates and whatnot added to it, yeah. The rain doesn't wait for you. The damp approaches as we speak. Yes, we gotta get moving. So my understanding from one of the commenters was you follow Mr. Ethereal Yellow Worm thing to kind of get more story progression. We're going to go with that logic for the time being. Now there's buzzing, and I don't like the buzzing. All right, so I have an object on me. Can I throw it at the crocodile thing? Save myself? I have two things. Watcher is finished DLC. Okay, then now we know. So I can come up here. Up we go. That's a no. I think I just make it mad. Oh, geez. Okay. So is it sort of like, you know, Mario Galaxy style with the purple comets where they just follow you and like just retrace your steps? Or are they a little more dynamic than that? You may die. I see. Low glowing wormy is pal, wormy is guide. What is it? Is it a worm? Is it a beacon of hope and light for the entity? All right, so we're what, halfway through the day here? You can't really run. Well, you kind of can. Well, now this I remember too. You do a little charge jump. There you go. See, we're using the mechanics. Or something. It's a government spy. There you go. Go to the light. If I had a nickel for every time I've told myself that. I don't like when it starts buzzing at me. Go toward the light, Sebastian. Boop. That's a sus little icon, isn't it? So where do you want me here? Well, we're going down. We probably have to think about shelter soon, so let's try to maybe get under something. And we got to eat, so good thing we're down here, right? Now this is not safe. Okay, we're fed. Progress. Ooh, just tunnels, tunnels on tunnels. Crocodile time. Oh. I aggroed it, I believe. Okay. Yeet. There we go. Shelter. In you go, buddy. Boom. Plausible deniability. We out. All right, a lot of chat to catch up on here. Where's the yellow paint? A game can't be enjoyed without it. You're right. How am I supposed to know where to go? Me dumb gamer. Necromancer. Yellow fella has a name. He's called Iggy. That is not what I would have pegged him. You know when you look at someone out in the world, you're just like, you look like a Peter, you look like a Steve, you look like a Doug. He does not peg me as an Iggy. If you end up dying, next time you enter that room with the purple light, go up instead of left. It's a progression thing. I will have to remember where that was. I don't know, a person, 1322. You are one in a many, a long line of persons. Thousands of you. I've never seen your channel before, but I see Rain World, so me like already. Hey, thank you. Well, I guess maybe a little primer as we go along here. Green lizards are fat, so they can't climb poles. That's good. A lizard. You shouldn't have succeeded, but you did. Nice. You did pass by an easier area where the purple light was, but there's one nearby you can still go to, though it's harsher on new players. You have the yellow spy drone telling you where to go. It's better than paint. That is true. Yeah, for those of you that are new and finding us through this, we are Hypocritic GG. We are a kind of an indie-focused variety channel streaming on Twitch and YouTube and making reviews of new, upcoming indie games and, you know, hidden gems from generations past. This is part of a series we were doing called Discovery Month, which was just a bunch of different indie titles that we found interesting based on the Steam Winter Sale. And this is kind of the natural conclusion of that. So, what do you want me to do? I see. So I can use that as sort of a swing? Okay. Food. Okay, so we're going to cross that off the list right away. Nom, 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 nom. So if you don't have enough food at the end of the day, what happens? Do you die? Do you just not hibernate? Iggy is kind of like a camera that it's alive. I wonder who owns it. Ooh, that's interesting. Foy Coco is back on stream tonight, so that's worth celebrating too. Yeah, Gordito in the back, Belly Bolt as well. Those guys are massive, by the way. Those are massive Squishmallows. I got them from Miss Nephroptosis, Sarah, my girlfriend, and they are way too big. I did not properly measure that out. What does this guy want me to do? What do you want? Okay, well, that's over. I can't help but notice I always manage to steal the #1 spot in YouTube chat, and I don't know why. I can't. So here's the problem that we're gonna have. I'm not gonna be. Oh God, it's so traumatic. Look at him like dragging him back. Where do I even go? I don't want to see it. So the problem is I can't stop to read chat while we're going very easily. It seems because then I'm gonna get eaten by something that pops up. So don't be alarmed if I have to catch up on reading, you know, in between in shelters, because I don't want to keep dying. You can hibernate, but you starve and don't save. I see. Careful with that plant. Those are called mimic poles. They imitate poles, and if you grab them, they will get you and drag you to the ground and eat you. Okay. I'd only suggest doing so when the rain is going to kill you if you don't. I see. Okay. We got a D20 from Full Metal. All right. So for those of you new to it, we also have a dice cam where you type !D20 and we roll for stuff. So that was a 4. So that means cheese, please. So I'm going to have to go on break, get some cheese and eat it, which is a nice treat for me. So that's a good roll. You can !D20 as well to make me do silly things, to affect the stream in some way. I see what you're saying. Okay. So he's cautioning me about it. Again with the crocodile. Maybe he'll take his time. All right. So the green ones can't climb poles, but the pink ones can? Oh, leave me alone. Okay, well, see you later. All right, so we're gonna feed ourselves. The little wall jumps are fun. Bow, 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 bow. Okay, look at him climbing back up. Nope. I should know, I'm vibing to the music and that is not vibe. So do I keep getting kicked back? I do. So in order to really progress, we got to go through kind of days or cycles unimpeded, it seems. Best to pause the game if you got to read chat. Yeah, that's fair. Heck yeah, cheese. We're going to have cheese. That's right. We got another one from Xerox. We'll do that one. The future is now, old man. We're here. We're here for it. Hydro homies better be backing up that cheese. All right. Well, while that goes in, let's roll another D20 here. This one is Xerox's. That's what, an 11? Tell a joke. So here's the problem, too. I know that's on the list, and I never come in prepared with jokes. You'd think I would do that by now. So you can't use those plants for leverage at all. I see. Hey, and Full Metal with the resub. That is loud. Those cues are not in line with this vibe, are they? All right, well, that's mostly food. Where's Sarah with the surprise cheese when you need her? Well, we'll find out if she's watching or not tonight. So if she pops in like 15 minutes and throws cheese at me, you will know why. So that can be your own platform, too. I like that. Well, maybe not. No chat on stream. Not tonight. We were talking about it recently, and ironically enough, this is a night where we could have probably used it, because normally stuff just sits on screen for a while. It takes up a lot of real estate on the right side, or the right side, and yeah, I don't know. We were trying without it for a while. Do we have thoughts on that, chat? Do we prefer having chat on screen for something like this, even though it takes up a little space? We've been going without. Oh, God. All right, so Crocodile Boy coming. Crocodile Dundee over here. Okay. I'm just wandering. I'm just seeing what happens. Has he discovered the area near this shelter? I have discovered very little. So we are just lucky we're making our way at all. Good yeet. All right, so we're up here now relative to where we were. If I can get my bearings logistically, I'll be happy with that much. Okay, so don't attack the buzzard thing. It's not a buzzard thing. What the hell is it? The strange not sea creature if we don't want to die. Okay. Take me here. That went well. Are these all just dead ends? Maybe this one's not. That's not even a way. Seems like it. Well, this looks familiar. So can we reuse the same shelters as well? It seemed like they unlocked for you. The aimless meandering. Oh, God. Nope. All right, well, we catch up. I completely went backwards on that one, didn't I? We were like 3 or 4 cycles in, and now we're back to cycle 1. That went well. The crocodile fellas are actually just called lizards, and they have differences depending on their colors. Green one can't climb, pink ones can, and there will be others with even more interesting abilities. Oh, goody, because they've been so nice to me before. She just drive-by whips a brick of monster through the door. Can you imagine? It's a drive-by dairy. That's very true. Mosquito, that's what I was aiming for. Still have no idea why that tunnel exists, or that one's. Okay, so I'm not crazy. They just go nowhere. They're tricky traps. They're just mean for no reason. Okay, so we're reverted pretty far back. All right, so it's cycle 3. Okay. So the icons, I see. Okay. So it does drag you down pretty quickly. I understand now. So really not helpful. Look at we love the balancing wormy guy here. Oh, they're little handles. Okay, I can climb on them. Useful information. All right, we were here already. Again, there's no real rhyme or reason to my exploration here. We're just kind of figuring it out as we go. Someone's playing Mega Bonk, but we're playing Ring World or Rain World right now. Did I call it Ring World? I'm just smart like that. What do you want from me? I feel like we're going. All right. Quitting after 30 seconds into a cycle counts as a loss. That's ominous. Do I get a map? Where was the map button? Hold RB for map. That's a cool looking map though. So it's painting all this stuff. I don't know why. That's probably the point. And again, we're just playing Donkey Kong Jr. for the goodness of our health. Not that I mind. So the arrows are the ones that you can climb on? It seems that way. Yeet! Oh, caught him. Okay. It's also marking death areas. All right, we don't have food in us. Nothing's going on here. Are these down? They are not down. All right, no climbing for you, so we're safe up here. Now we're just into this thing again. Oh my God. What is happening? That's fair, right? At least they can't kill you in the tunnel. That's some kind of positive, I guess. Jeez, that was uncomfortable. No climbing for you. That's very good to know. We're getting somewhere. But where? Uncharted territory, maybe? A little bit. Love his little stance on top of the pole. It's not a he. I don't know what this thing is. Oh, but he just follows you. Okay. the like rear kind of noise that it makes is interesting. Are they fighting each other? You really are like an NPC in all this, aren't you? So they'll leave me alone. We're halfway through the day. What even is this? Yes, I need food. Oh, be gone. Well, y'all can hang out up there. I'm good with that. Look at that, we used the mechanics. Wow. All right, but they're gonna be coming, so we gotta watch ourselves here. I love this little bonk. He could not make it. There's a lot of bats up there, and I want them. So did I kind of block myself off from up there? Maybe. No, we're good here. Look at that. Nice. Not enough, but we got food. It's fascinating. It's so odd. It's just so like directionless, and I mean obviously that's the main thrust of it, right? But we're just out here kind of doing whatever the hell. So it's very different. And I think maybe the struggle for people to classify it who aren't really looped in on it kind of makes sense, because you know, I've seen people compare it to something like Hollow Knight, but this is definitely not Hollow Knight. I've seen it compared to Metroidvanias, kind of retroactively like Animal Well, but it's definitely not that either. So it's just such a curious thing. Now, I probably will need a shelter at some point here. Do those show up on the map? Yes. Not ignoring y'all. Just playing the game. I'll get to chat in a sec. It vibrates every now and again, and I don't know why. Oh, we've definitely been here. At least the wall jumps are starting to make a little sense. Gets very predictable once you kind of understand the weight of the character. All right, where are we? Again, I don't know what the blue is highlighting, and maybe so many things it could be. So we've been here too. At least you can eat on the poles. Oh God, is that the rain? Oh no. We are nowhere near shelter, so we're kind of hosed. Does it show you? It does show you on the map how little time you have left. God, the rain is terrifying. Oh no. Oh God. I'm sorry. This will be enough, surely. Wow, it is devastating. Go, buddy, go. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh my God. Holy hell. That is you're not kidding. That's a lot of rain. Me boyo. Oh, Jesus. All right. We got a lot of people talking here. Let's see what we got here. If you see the light of a pipe starting to flash, that means in the other side there will be enemies or that an enemy is coming. Yes, I did sniff that one out. Hope you enjoyed the Survivor campaign as much as I did. It was my favorite campaign due to discovering everything for the first time. So far, if you see a golden circle with an X inside in the map, that means that there might be an artifact known as a karma flower. If you eat a karma flower, you gain a protection for your karma level. Is that what the icons are on the left? This protection makes it that if you die, you don't lose karma levels. I see. That will be used to get to different areas of the game. It is Rain World with my favorite battle slug cat. Nothing ever compare. Ain't that the truth? Blue in the map tells you where food is. That makes sense. Slug cat must retreat to safety, which I did not do. Wow, water. Yeah. That was water. The rain in this game, if it happened in real life, would feel like bullets. Yeah, I mean, that was devastating. Poor little Sluggo didn't stand a chance, I don't think. All right. So we kind of are just in our little loopy area down here. So we want to kind of start exploring elsewhere. So this is the whole map or just the map that we've, you know, kind of have access to so far? It's a very cool effect on it though, I will say. Are you a friend? Oh. Yeah, you really don't have any time to get out of there. Once that thing latches onto you even a little bit, you are done. So I know that there were the 3 different kind of campaigns or difficulty levels in it. And I'm curious, you know, I know one seemed a lot easier, one seemed a lot harder. What the other kind of tangible differences are there. There goes that lizard and that slug cat. This is cryptic as hell, though. I feel like I can understand the sort of critic frustration. There's water down here. I can swim at least. That's comforting. And it's so gooey. Look at how gooey this water is. Have I been down here? No, I haven't. Okay, so yeah, new areas of the map will open for us. Okay. All right, so here's... I just never dropped down? What are you? New arenas unlocked. Okay. So should I have done that with the other thing? So if I just tap A, he kind of really creeps along. Sandbox item unlocked. The hell is the sandbox? These are all great. You can go to new areas by going up all the way to the left, up and left. So I'm doing the exact opposite. Good. Ooh. This is cool. There's icons. Now the thing's flashing in the lower left. Why? Oh. Calling up the map, you kind of go in almost this focus mode. That's cool. All right, so where do you want me to go? I thought I could fall there. I can't fall. So there's not much happening for me here, is there? Okay. Whee! That's the most fun part. We just kind of yeet ourselves along here. You have to have the correct karma level to go through that gate. I see. So here's the other thing too, because we've seen this, or I've kind of had this pop up with games like this. You need to go sleep in a shelter. Okay. Is that why it's directing me to the shelter? Okay. So really, you can just raise your karma level. You farm some food and things like that. You can do that. Your symbol has to match the one in the room. I see, and then... Okay. You want to eat or what? Okay. Got it. All right, we're on board. I understand what's happening, I think. The shelter's up that way. Go a little faster, my guy. Ugh. Thought I had a handle on the wall jump stuff. I was wrong. I'm going. Yep. Where was the shelter? All the way back? Avoid, avoid. It was down. Yep. Familiar. I was like, don't you dare. We're so close. Absolutely not. Okay. Right, so I at least sussed most of this part out. When you sleep, you gain symbols, karma, which allows you to enter those gates to proceed to a new area. This is how the game checks if you're ready for the challenges ahead. Cutscene. Kind of. Oh, they're having a moment. Am I angry with Lightworm? Am I nonplussed? So I need, what, did I need 1 or 2 more Karma Knights? So I'm really digging myself out of the hole then, huh? So I need that one. That's what, 1 or 2 more? I just spam jump when it comes to wall jumping and hoping. It seems like a lot of this is accomplished by just spamming the button. Like, come on. I barely... I understand the frustrations. Let's if that is your progression gate where you have to hit that certain karma level and you can only do that by having so many nights in a row or so many rests in a row unimpeded. I can understand why people might find that gnarly. Now, maybe that other campaign makes this a little more tolerable. Now, see, all right, so it's trying to cue me over to that room, but I'm not nearly there. Gotta go, but before I go, I'll tell you the reason is the rain is so strong. I'm going to... I jumped into the big pole-like plant, and it grabbed me before I could get away. Thank you for the... I know Necromancer put in the background in there. I am gonna save it for myself, just to, you know, try to keep a little bit of the mystery, but we'll maybe take a look at it. So really, I just need to... That's a different croc. Or a lizard, that's interesting. The gate you are going to takes a lot to go through. It's a harder area. All right, I have no idea. And I almost wonder, so this is where we start, you know, going back and forth on some of the design philosophies of it. How much crypticness is too much crypticness? Let's start there. So you have a lot of games in this vein. I find a lot of them Metroidvanias for some reason. A lot of the parallels that I draw are something like Animal Well or Environmental Station Alpha, which was a 2015 Metroidvania that we played relatively recently for Discovery Month. And by and large, those games, you know, don't really hold your hand at all. Now, Environmental Station Alpha does a fair bit more. You get story, you get plot, you get specific objectives. Animal Well more or less leaves you to your own devices, but it does direct you fairly well. This feels a lot more sort of... Thank you, Necromancer. Appreciate you stopping by. This does seem very deliberately sort of obtuse in that sense. And I think there is obviously, you know, everyone in here, having spent so much time with it, that obviously has, I think, a lot of appeal. It is literally just on Kong Jr. This is amazing. There's obviously a lot of appeal there. The thought process then kind of becomes, you know, is it a little too... What's the word I'm looking for? And why can't I... Are there conditions under which you can't eat? Like I'm swimming, so I can't eat right now? Yeah. And now there's bats. So really what I kind of want to do at this point is just farm this area for like food and bats and get the karma level up. So then I can go through that gate. Is that kind of a fair thought here? So much of this is spamming. I'm just like spam and jump to move around faster. I'm spam and jump to do the wall jumps. And the weight and gooiness of the character is tricky. That I will, you know, I don't think you can entirely get around it. How obtuse is too obtuse is the question. And does that sort of prevent a lot of people from engaging with it because they kind of find it too unaccommodating? Now, again, I don't know if the other campaigns are easier or more kind of gently laid out. We're just kind of thinking out loud here. Now, at least I kind of know my way around enough to figure out where I need to go. So I can do this, right? And then I just sort of go in here, and then I come back to the shelter, and then I move forward a karma level. That's fun. The room with the purple light from earlier leads to an easier one. I don't remember where that was. Okay. Biggest issue is Rain World isn't a Metroidvania. Yeah, we gathered that pretty quick. Viewing it as one will cause issues. Yeah, because I mean... The only real kind of abject parallel it seems to share are... You know, it's that concept of a constrained map that slowly opens up over time. But it's not like in this game that you get new abilities necessarily, right? Or that you have additional moves that will get you places you couldn't before. It's just sort of the map expands as you explore naturally, which is how platformers work out the box, right? This feels more, you're smart, you'll figure it out. It definitely does not feed you much of anything, which is a creative choice. Someone say farm. Rick McChicken. Everything reminds me of her. It's true. All right, we got a lot of comments here. This is good. Rain World Okay, wait. Yeah, the game is segmented into regions to make up the whole world, which can be visited at any time if you have the right karma. But viewing the game as linear will only cause frustration. It definitely does not feel that way. Rain World simulates an ecosystem with Slugcat being inexperienced due to being young and thrown into the world. So figuring stuff out honestly makes a lot of sense. Learning to survive and explore the world is the main intention. The story is hidden from you and more so meant to be stumbled upon, but it is possible to beat the game without finding it. Your abilities, in my opinion, is the knowledge you get throughout the game. It's the friends we made along the way, quite literally in this case. That's one. Main reason why I haven't said too much on how to play the game. No, I kind of would prefer to struggle through it myself. And here's the problem I run into as well. With games like this especially, that's a very loud gate opening. With games like this especially, I don't know if it's frustrating or entertaining or both to have someone like me coming in who's never played this before, is just kind of coming to grips with it, understanding what's happening. And, oh, does he lead you to places you can go? It's interesting. So, like, is that frustrating? Is that... No, I got away from it. It can... So can I... Nope. That's kind of bullshit. I'm sorry. It is that easy. You can, what, take 5, 10, 15 minutes to get one karma level up, and then right outside of the shelter you snap your fingers and whole thing's dead. So I guess you're supposed to do, well, not even that, but we got around it. A D20 from Xerox. Okay, see that's, yeah, I'm gonna have to find one of those easier spots if we're gonna make any progress here. Pal feeding so many plants. That was not the intent of the exercise. All right, so let's, where else can we go? The purple light from earlier. I don't have a clue where that was. Well, crocodile was in the way. I couldn't see what it was showing me. I keep thinking they're crocodiles. They're lizards. I know they're lizards. Goodbye, sir. All right, what are you trying to tell me? Oh, there's a little ability up there. It gives me the sandbox items too, and I don't know what to do with that. All right, so I just have to barely hop over you. Yeah, that's the plan there. They both eat you, so potato, potato. Yummy. With that plant, you can tell it apart by looking at the map to check to see if the pole exists or not, or you can throw rocks at it or wait to see it frill out its leaves. I did notice that that is something that it does. Nope. Some gnarly self-preservation here. You need to be on your toes and very aware of your environment, especially later once you're out of the... This is the easy area, mind you, also, I assume. That is some work. All right, let's see if our friend is gone from here. He's not. So yeah, that just organically gates it off. Until further notice. right, so I thought I saw an option to go north from here. Up, north, whatever. Are you edible? Yes. Yes, we can go north from here. Oh. It is a gorgeous game, though. I do... That, and I said this before, that's honestly what really drew me to it, was the art style. And sort of understanding what it was actually about afterward. Cool. So it does kind of guide you to some of those different karma areas, which is nice of it. So that wasn't super helpful. Is that mosquito friend? It is. So if we don't eat her baby, mosquito won't bother us, right? Halfway through the day. Where does this go? Creepy. Creepy and sus. What better combination could there be? At least it's quiet down here. I like that you can kind of glom on through the tunnels just as is. We gotta start thinking about shelters here. There's one along the way, so we just gotta kind of keep going. We have a... Okay. When did I pick this up? Okay, whoa! What's in those berries? Jesus. There's some tactical purpose to this, right? Other than just looking ridiculous. I love it, though. That was funny. So you can go on drug trips, you know? Even slug cats gotta relax. I keep missing the lore that it tries to give me here. All right, tell me again. Were you directing me to the lore? Is that what we were saying when we meant, like, it will lead you to the story? That seemed just cryptic enough. Hi, slug cat. All right, well, we're going to keep at it here. I'm curious... The reviews were not super good. Your dare officer would be disappointed. There's a... Sarah / Miss Nephroptosis / Call Me Red 7. They would. That is very true. By the way, we had a cheese roll before, so I don't know if you saw, but maybe you could be on cheese duty. I think there's still some slices. Surprise. So let me see. I didn't want to look at the reviews until we were like kind of winding the stream down, so maybe I won't poke at them too much, but they were not very good. generally speaking. Cheese, we need cheese. Full Metal says we need cheese. The people demand it. And weirdly, too, the Wikipedia section on the reviews is shockingly lengthy, and I'm not really sure what that indicates. The music is bumping, and I don't know why. All right, I'll bite. Let's go to the story. What do you want me to do? Well, it wanted me this way. Would you like them yeeted, slung, or nyong? Let's yeet them. How about we yeet them this time around? What is the rev up in the music? It's gonna drive me nuts. I need to know. That just goes there. Helpful. I feel very pressured for some reason, and I don't like it. I know you want me up there. I can't oblige right now. Now I kind of can, though. Is it something with cycle 6? What is happening? I'm coming. Purple light, okay. Is this where we were talking about before? All right, it's getting interesting. Is this somewhere I can go? That's a little creepy. I am not at the right karma level for this one either. But that does seem to be where it wants me to go. So, new plan. We get to that karma level and we can figure this out. We have a fair bit of time. Okay, so it's guiding me to food now? Now that I know to listen to the damn thing, it makes a lot more sense. I can't get up that far. It's so gooey. He's so damn gooey. It's great. Am I supposed to be able to get back up there? And do you only see certain sections of the map at the same time? Yeah, kind of. That's probably intentional, right? You can't spend too long looking at the map. There we go. Well, we got away from him. Yay, new plan. Yeah. Oh, no, there's bats. I want the bats. Where'd you go? Oh, you're not what I want to see. Halfway. I only need one. And they seem to be down there. Lizard throwing jaws. Okay. Just drop me out of that. Yeesh. There do seem to be dedicated areas where like those berries grow, so that's really helpful for farming this out. Come back. Does he reach out for it too? It's cute. Got him. Nice try, buddy. Oh, and they're in here. That is super helpful, actually. Because now we're full. Can't eat anymore. Great, that worked really well. Sort of rodent. Hello. Hi there. The game is very hard and explains very little, even many controls, but the mechanics world and eventually lore and story are all very cool. That is certainly the vibe we've been getting to date playing this. Are these its dreams? Is this what it's thinking about when it hibernates? The first one was it thinking about the worm friend, the light worm. The Wormlight. Game Boy reference. We're calling it the Wormlight. I don't care what its name is. It's now the Wormlight. Oh, God. Oh, no. We have a delivery. Oh, Jesus. Here it comes. Am I catching it? What am I going to do? She's just going to... All right, wait. Here it goes. Here it goes. You ready, O? You ready, chat? Here we go. Oh. That was direct... I don't know if you said... That was directly into... the top of my teeth. I don't want another one.
Here it comes.
A little more arc on it, maybe?
Here it comes.
Okay.
Here it comes.
Okay. Oh. Success! Thank you. Cheese delivery from... It's not from Toast, it's Sarah. She did a perfect, like, pirouette that... So we got cheese yeeted in. Let's appreciate that for a second. The Wormlight is so good. Yes! Natural selection for those bats. Yeah, clearly. The slug cat got him. Let's have a cheese break, everyone. Cheers to you. Thanks for hanging out with us and going back and forth and tolerating my inability to play this at a basic level. Hopefully it's entertaining for you to see someone play through the game you love so much for the very first time and come to grips with it. That is such an interesting thing. We've all got those games we wish we could play for the first time again, you know, where you want to just be blown away by the experience again and love it and feel it when it's fresh and all those things. BioShock 1 is one of those games for me where it was just such a revelation when it came out at the time. You know, I would have been, that was what, 2007, so I would have been, what, 15, 14? That was, like, it blew my mind. It was so groundbreaking. And you can never have it for the first time. So hopefully there's a little bit of that energy here with my experiencing this for the first time. So yes, we established that's Slugcat's dream. So it's dreaming about its family that it misses. I'm working on it, buddy. Everybody was so hyped for the cheese. Well, now we know what cheese can really do. Everyone's pumped for the glorious cheese. I did. Well, you said, Vinny, you called this too. You were like, bro's gonna slam in and, you know, chuck a brick of Munster through the door. And that's basically what happened. It's just slices of cheddar, but it's still beamed directly into my mandible nonetheless. So that's, moderately I was irritated. Moderately irritated. South Carolina is gone. If you know, you know. Bioshock 1 was so good. Struggling is basically mandatory for every first-time player. Maybe, we were talking about it before, maybe that's where some of the critic friction comes in, where either you are on a limited time frame or you just don't want to struggle, and ergo, you don't like it. In my opinion, enabling remix helps. Adds loading screen tips for one, but some people like to discover all the mechanics themselves, which is fair. I enjoy seeing people figure out how to play anyway. Okay, well then, I always get a little sensitive about that, and it's mostly around things like puzzle games, where you basically reveal how much of an idiot you are, more or less. Trying to solve puzzles live is like a death sentence for yourself. And you're just never really sure if that's entertaining for people to just watch you struggle and fumble around with stuff. My paranoia would always be that I wanted to put like kind of good quality gameplay out with whatever we would stream. And that doesn't really need to be the case. You know, maybe there is value in exploring something like this and struggling with it and finding your way through. All right, so I think we're at the karma level that we need to be to get to the next story area. We are, so we just have to kind of go back the way we came, hope we don't get eaten along the way. I'm going to throw you a giant wheel of Parmigiano Reggiano next time. Next time I go shopping, I will get a large wheel to have on standby, so that's what drives engagement. You have to keep rolling for cheese, please, on the D20 wheel. So we can have the massive block of Parmigiano thrown at my head. I think, did I owe Xerox a D20? I might have. Let's do that now while we have a brief moment. Welcome to the Dice Cam. That's a 6. Stretch it out, and honestly, that is a good break, and I can use it. So, ooh, elbows. Do you hear that? Ooh, don't get old, kids. I say that I'm 33. I'm not like a geezer over here, but still. I was like, he can't climb all the way up to reach me, can he? Oh, he coming. A bowling ball of the hardest blue trees. Are you actually trying to kill me? Do we want to... Is it unalive night? We're just going to start yeeting... I was going to say wheels of brie at me, but brie's a soft cheese, so that wouldn't actually hurt. We need like a really hard... What would just be a really painful brick to launch at someone in cheese form? Just a really sharp, extra sharp cheddar block. I don't know. I don't make the rules. I don't make all these decisions. Suggest a cheese. Suggest a very hard cheese you want thrown on my head, and I'll go to the artisan shop and find it just for y'all. It's the advantage of living where there's every store possible within a 15-minute radius of you. Story time. Oh. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no. No. Why? No. Okay. I was like, what is happening? It's the mechanics. Limburger. So are we now just permanently in this area? Or does this go back and forth to give us passage as the water drains? Slug about to get steamed. So, okay. We've got a shelter, but I'm a little hungry still. So gooey. The animations are very impressive and how it all kind of fits together. It does feel incredibly natural. And in a lot of ways, it makes the motion and the platforming easy to predict because you are, you know, you understand the weight of it after a little bit, and you understand the gooiness and how it all fits together. It's certainly different, and I think that was probably the appeal or the curiosity for a lot of people. I don't want to go... Well, I don't have to go in there yet, right? Now, here's the question. Do you die if you go into a shelter without enough food? Or do you just not progress in karma? I was afraid Slug Cat would turn into dinner. I stayed to the side of those gates when it was opening for a long time. Yeah. A wedge of extra sharp cheddar whittled into a knife. That sounds delightfully dangerous. Ooh. It's so pretty. We have about half the day to figure this out. I love when I remember to use the mechanics. And there's food! No, you progress karma, but you don't save. Oh, God. Is he on the wall? You progress karma, but you don't save and get starved debuff. What does that debuff do? Bye-bye. All right, well, I'm properly fed now, so let's make our way through here. New lizard unlocked. Gotta find them all. Yeah, so he just crawls on the walls, I see. Okay. All right, so we're down here. We made it through. We made some progress. Finally. Damn, it's been almost 2 hours. But we're getting there. And that's going to raise our karma level. So if we really wanted to, we could trek all the way back and go into that other area as well. Oh, there's only 5 levels. I see. So we're doing pretty good. It really is just about getting that momentum a little bit. Yeah, you just, you know, have a couple of successful days, plan your, you know, trek out carefully. Get on with your life. Industrial complex. So how did you all find this game? Let's talk about our origin stories here. Like I said, I stumbled upon this during the Steam Winter sale because it was on sale. And like I said, the art style really just kind of grabbed my attention and seemed interesting. Didn't know a lot about it going in. I really knew next to nothing about it. And just kind of went from there. How did you all find it? So many ways to go. We've got this all new world to explore. I've only watched video essays about the development of it, so you were aware of it going in to this, I guess. It does seem like one of those that has captivated a certain piece of the internet, right? As it often does, or as is often the case with games of this type. Oh, more lizard. What's your deal? Interesting. Well, you don't bug me, I won't bug you, I guess. It's all these little dots. Did I just cough it out? That's weird. More cryptic mechanics. Wonder what this will do. I'm assuming I gotta bring these somewhere. That would be sensible. There's a way up. Let's go up. Let's okay. Let's get your origin stories before I go any further here. Found it through Steam randomly, heard of it before. Okay, that's like the survey. How familiar are you with XY franchise? Saw Leaflin, welcome on in. Saw a YouTube video, now have about 350 hours in it. There's something about this that seems to just be really captivating people. Didn't someone say before that they had like 1,200 or 1,500 hours into this? That is an incredible amount of hours in time. Both of you. That's especially for what is largely, I guess, a single-player experience like that. The comparison I keep making is Animal Well. Now, obviously, Animal Well is a lot newer. They're not the same game by any stretch, but Animal Well seems very similar in that it is a very unique game that kind of has a very specific slice of people that are going to enjoy it, and those that do really, really dive into it like hardcore. Obviously, that game had such a wide community built around it with the mysteries and the crypticness and the puzzles and whatever, but they do seem very, very broadly cut from similar cloths in that, you know, they don't explain anything. You're driven by exploration. You're kind of feeling your own way through the world and figuring out what the objectives are as you go. And it builds up a very strong following because of that. So I think that's interesting. Not nearly enough to actually explain it. That makes sense. Outside of knowing it had some platforming. Yeah, all I really understood coming in was that it was not a Metroidvania, that it was not Hollow Knight, that it was basically listed as a survival platformer. And I think that is a really apt description because that is absolutely the vibe you get. I've completely fallen in love with the environment and storytelling and gameplay, albeit sometimes very unfair. It's very addicting, to be honest. I can understand the appeal, for sure. And I think as we get to the end of the stream here, I probably won't go more than another 45 minutes or so. We'll discuss maybe from like a brand new person's perspective, much more objectively, kind of the pros and cons of, you know, even with just this little cut of it, what seems to work, what doesn't, and that kind of thing. Either they love it or they hate it, kind of. And when you're in this kind of position where you review a lot of games and you talk about a lot of different experiences, yeah, you maybe don't have the luxury to go 30, 50, 80 hours deep into something. That maybe would be beneficial, but you try to keep that objectivity about it and maybe don't swing either end of the spectrum, and you try to kind of, you know, give as many pros and as many cons as you can. Was looking for games like Hollow Knight, but it's actually pretty different. Yes, yeah, it is very, very different from Hollow Knight. I only have over 100 hours in Rain World, but completed every campaign and almost every challenge except the last one. Yeah, there are multiple campaigns, which I think is also really interesting. So much more to experience outside. Like, this is just the Survivor campaign, right? But there's two other ones. At the bare minimum, and then there's the remix mode, which I think someone said offers, you know, some more accessibility, let's say. Seems like there's a fair bit to explore. I like the industrial complex here. Halfway through the day. Start to get a little nervous. I don't think I have food in me. I don't think I have shelter nearby. We've got our friendos chasing us. Did I come out up there? Yeah. It's so... I gotta figure out what that's about. So I'm just storing... I'm like storing that for the winter? It feels like... All right, we're fed. So now we need shelter. Like up on the top of some old clock tower kind of deal. It's cool. A lot of bats up here. That's good to know. Ah, okay. Yeah, let's not hang out there too long. Preservation instinct kicks in after a certain point. Jesus. No. What do the balls do? The birds aren't very nice in this game. No kidding. There was something I could have had. We're running out of time here. It does, the controller starts vibrating as a reminder that you need to get the hell down. All of a sudden, Mr. Mr. Wormlight doesn't seem too keen on helping us out. And now the tremors. These are cool environments we're going through, but shelters are really in short supply here, are they not? Let's go into water. That'll surely help when the rains arrive. Oh my God, we might actually have one. Go, buddy, go! Go, buddy, go! Oh my God, wow. How's that for clutch? Boom. It was well in hand. Not a concern. Never worried about it. Not once. Leaflin again. I'm also a sucker for games' art styles as an artist. Ooh, and the art direction for this game is stunning. Very unique take on pixel art to the point where you forget it's pixel art. I would agree completely. It is a very, very pretty game. I honestly think that's its main appeal, and probably its biggest draw is its art style. And I wonder how much that sort of got people, right? If they don't know much about it other than it looks really cool and it's super pretty, and then they get into it and they're like, what the fuck do I do, right? So a more sort of, or less motivated casual player might see this, get really confused and frustrated, and toss it, right? So I wonder if that was the case. Clutch. All according to plan, that's right. Can't get washed out if I'm already wet. That was the intent. So clutch, my car just shifted into gear and slammed through my living room. Intrusive. All right, so we're max karma now. That's good. I've seen people drop it very fast. Yeah, it's a hard one for people to get into. It is tough. It probably took me most of this stream. Like, it's only now that I really feel reasonably comfortable. Well, thank you for the follow there, Leafland. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. So I starting to understand it too. College book demands to be read. I shall be gone. I'll be back later. Thanks so much. Appreciate you stopping by. Really nice of you to swing by. So I think it Wormlight comes through when you are at a sufficient karma level to experiment, you know, with going to a new area. That's what I'm kind of seeing here. Is there a blue Wormlight? Is there another Wormlight? Oh, what are these things? I can swim? Kind of? I swear it makes sense. If I get that, okay, I'll at least get closer. And I accidentally lead into two of these guys. So we're fed. I'm just going to follow Wormlight. There's two Wormlights, though. Where do you want me to go? What are you guiding me to? Some new ability I don't have? We're going to call blue Wormlight Blight. We can do that. Bluey lighty. Oh, wait, is this a trippy? Is it time for a trip? Yeah! And not go in holes. Yeah, just really slowly. So I'm also not where I need to be, according to our worm friend. I'm going to keep my little drug trip for later. So do I build up like a karma cushion at this top level? Is that what the indicator was on the screen? All right. I don't really have time to figure out where you want me to go, pal. I'm going to get eated. All right. Just don't come this way. I don't exist. I'm going, bud. Yeah, nope. Oh, really? I just got Pac-Man'd? That was super helpful. But I didn't lose any karma, so that's good. I don't know why. The joys of following an indecisive worm when you're on a very strict timer. Isn't that just always the way? All right, well, we're going to do it again. So it just illustrates like, hey, here's the story. Here's, you know, what happened to you. Follow me if you want to find out more. But I did get waka waka waka. That was not nice, game. That is one of those annoying bits where you're traveling forward, you bump into an enemy like that you can't possibly see coming. Like, what the hell are you supposed to do? Do those things hurt me? What killed me here? Did Ladybug spray me? I will say it is at times very, very, very frustrating. So I probably lost that karma opportunity there. Yeah, see, it's not. Or, yeah, it is. Oh, are you just trying to guide me all the way back? Like, all the way back. I can't even see that far. Unless, no, we're in a new area, so I don't know what the hell's happening. We're just gonna... Pal drowned. I did not drown. I couldn't have drowned. Pal swims good. Yeah, but I can't go up, so this is all you're getting out of me. Give me food. Bad rain. It cuts the name off funny. It's hard for me to read. Bad Rain World Edits? Bad Rain World Edits. Is that what it is? I have never seen this game before, but it looks cool. If your username is Bad Rain World Edits and you've never seen Rain World, that probably tracks. I would believe that. It does. The blade I have for OBS that controls the chat, it couldn't, like, formats a lot of the usernames weird, so it's sometimes a little tough for me to read. In the moment, my apologies. I'm gonna say, did we lose our way? Are you pointing me to food or are you pointing me to destiny here? This seems to be the way we were going. And just, yeah, absolute abject horrors of the world out here. Thanks, I hate it. Oh, do they... Oh, well, they fight each other. It is a whole ecosystem, right? That's the whole point of this exercise. We grooving, too. I will say it obviously does not make for very quick movements. Where do you want me to go? Which I think often is part of the frustration when you need to move quickly, when you need to get out of the way of a hazard or something running at you. You just can't do it. The controls often don't allow for that level of pivot. Which is obviously by design. right, so nope. I gotta get up there. Oh, come on. It is, when he gets like stuck on stuff, it is pretty frustrating to not just be able to move. You're just like, do something, and he doesn't do anything. Yeeting yourself just never gets old, though. Little food. We're pretty much good on food, so that's helpful. There's a shelter right here, though, so if I can catch one more bat in here, which I just did, we're good on food. So I'm going to take the shelter cycle here. And all of the bats I can eat. I like how it tries to reach out for the bats as it runs by them. Yeet. More like yeet world. Duh. Okay. I understand the design intent of the controls, but they are very frustrating sometimes. Very good. Boom. Big learning curve on figuring out how to adapt around the Slugcat's weaknesses. Yeah, it's... Someone was saying before, you really got to like watch your back. You got to go in very consciously to all these different places, and it is by no means a casual sort of... Are you using controller or keyboard? Controller. I have a very nice... just got this one recently, as a matter of fact. It's like Arctic Ice or something like that. Arctic Blue... Xbox One controller, because the one that I would normally use, its D-pad was going. For whatever reason, the D-pads are kind of flaky on some of these Xbox One controllers. So that was kind of a replacement deal there. It was cheap at Walmart, and it was great. So I do love it, though. And we had a D20 from Xerox, so let's do that while we have a sec. 2. Fart noise. Oh, good. Real mature. Just for you all. Because I like you a lot. Only the best. And Hypocritic GG. All right. So we were trying to go this way. I'm assuming... Okay. So maybe that's not an option? Now he's gone. What are those? Why is this? Okay. All right, so I'm not going to bat for it this time. How was that one? Fair? Drops in from the sky, immediate death, just by standing around. I don't like that. That was, if this is still considered like the easy areas and it gets more punishing than that, I don't know that that's very fun. That breeds a lot of concern where you're just, you know, something's gonna just drop from the ceiling at any moment and eat me alive. I don't know. I would argue that it was fair, but you can see a moving shadow in the background before a vulture shows up. Well, great. The Dunkarood. Is there some kind of cue in the background? Wings flap. I'm afraid to go over here because I don't know what these stringy things do. I see the shadow. Okay. Yeah, this is bullshit. I don't... Whatever. So that's 2 more. See, just like that, you can snap your fingers, have one bad run in one room, and you're set back an hour? Not an hour. Let's say, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour. So now I don't even know that I can get where I needed to go, and I'm just going to yeet myself at these things and see what happens. Nothing. So I hesitated for no reason. And... Oh no, I'm good. I thought I was a karma level short here, but we're okay. He looks so concerned. Do you want a small tip on how to deal with them? The vultures? Get out of the room, I guess. It's all avoidance, right? You really don't have any offensive capabilities. You're really just dancing around the stuff that you find. I'm not fed, but sure. Gross. Garbage wastes. Very appealing. What is on me? Little slugs. Do I eat them? No, I do not. Nice music, though. What are you? Again, something I just eat and put away in my gullet until I don't need it. Are you guiding me to food, or what are you doing? Poor thing's just like crawling through sludge, trying to make its way. Life's hard for a slug cat. Is that a karma protect? You do actually have an offensive option, but not sure if that's backseating too much. You're respectful of a blind player. I respect that a lot. Thank you. What do you do? I still don't understand the little balls that you can regurgitate. Unless you just, again, toss them when you need something. Is that what it is? Oh. Little sludge balls now? Is that something I can hold on to? No. I don't know what's happening. Can't screw around too much. Pal ate the flower. Need food. I think it was trying to guide me to food before, but I wasn't listening. Creepy shadows for no reason. So those things really don't have any adverse effect on you. They just sort of exist. So if you stay in the water too long, are the slugs just decorative? I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I'd love to get up there, but, you know, there we go. Yeah, Cat's not having a great day, I don't think. Scavenger merchant. Are you friendly? That is a no. Just kind of blops its way up to the top here. What is happening? How are we doing on time? Pretty good. Bats. You love to see it. I think those are leeches. Yeah, what did I say they were? I was like, have I had the faintest goddamn idea what I've been doing this whole time? No. Reach for it. I love that they can reach underwater for as long as they want to and just eat you alive. Okay, well, clearly we're going backwards. And I did have protection there because I ate one of those flower guys. That's some rain world if I ever saw it. That's pretty annoying. All right, so back we go again. I don't even know how far back we are. It doesn't show you the karma levels as you're going. I guess not. So we have a shelter there. There's no food around here, that's the problem. So just into the garbage wastes. I think what compounds it too, can I eat these things? He just like inhales them, puts them away for later. That's the whole MO here. Part of the frustrating part too is when you do get sent all the way back like this, you do move often so slowly and so clumsily, having to retrace all of these steps and go back through all of this. I barely got in here! You gotta be shitting me. All right. Was I in that room 5 seconds? How are you expected to make progress? That's a demerit. I'm sorry. All right. Well, unfortunately, I think that's gonna have to wrap. And I hate to leave it on a sour note there, but that's time-wise, that's probably gonna have to do it for us. So let's get some impressions and thoughts on this, having gone in completely blind. I can see both sides of the coin on this. I can understand why we just can't leave it on that screen and just have the sadness. We'll have some ambience in the background while I discuss the ring, or the rain. I keep calling it Ring World because I'm thinking of Wormlight, Ringworm, whatever. There's a lot of thoughts here. One more D20 we're going to sneak in here for Vinny before we give some final thoughts on it. That is a 19. That is self-sabotage. Well, we're kind of at the end of the stream. Well, you know what we'll do? I'll self-sabotage myself for next time I play this. Like I need to be any more frustrated, which I can't go this way now, really, because I'm out of karma. So I guess we got to backtrack. So what I will do is I'll die again to put myself at like minimum, or am I at minimum karma level? I could have gone that way. I'll die again so that I'm at minimal karma level coming back into this, just to, oh my god, just the most minuscule actions are sometimes the most wildly frustrating in this game. Right into it. Oh, it like sticks and gloobs all around. That's delightful. Okay, well. That was loud, I apologize. But yes, here we are. So, the first few hours are absolutely the most frustrating. And I think that might be part of where the problem is. You have to spend so much time to make it less frustrating. If you don't have some intrinsic motivation to want to do it, I can see everyone but the most dedicated players dropping this. And the barrier to entry does seem really high. And like I said, I could see both sides of this. On one hand, it is so sort of, there's a rich sort of tapestry here that I'm sure unfolds itself very satisfyingly as you go. And there's a lot to enjoy from a creative storytelling perspective that doesn't use its words, that only uses its environment and its character design. That's often some of the best storytelling you can find. So I understand the appeal there. On the other hand, I also understand the real kind of lack of accessibility that this has and how frustrating it would be to come in, and even candidly it was frustrating for me as a brand new player to sort of not really know what's going on at all and figuring it out a little bit. That inherently is not a bad thing. And again, I keep drawing comparisons to something like Animal World because that's a game that does it really, really well. When you have something like this, for whatever reason, maybe it's the clumsiness of the controls, it's hard to move around, it doesn't feel as freeing or as... How am I trying to phrase this? It doesn't feel... Moving around's hard. It's clumsy and it's hard. And there is some appeal in that challenge, I think, but it's definitely not a universally loved experience, and I think that's probably fair. So, you know, to be fair to it, it's not like something I'm going to go give it a number score like Gloobies after just a couple of hours. But I can understand why this would maybe fall into sort of the middling camp for some people. Again, if you stick with it, I'm sure it gets a lot more satisfying, but do the ends justify the means is kind of my question. And you have to kind of understand that, I think. What I wanted to do now that I've had some time to ingest it is go into the reviews here and see what people thought of it, because the reviews weren't particularly positive. I'm going to just read a little bit and we're going to give poor Slugcat some time to just rest. Jeez, been putting them through it here. The game received mixed reviews upon release, according to Metacritic, with 43% of critics recommending it, according to OpenCritic. Journalists praised the game's art design, but criticized the harshness of its gameplay mechanics, particularly its unpredictable deaths, ruthless enemies, and time-consuming hibernation requirements. Candidly, I would agree with all of that. Rain World's active fan base, which we've certainly seen in full force here tonight. And I appreciate all of you for coming out and voicing your opinions on this, because that is so helpful to just sort of understand what people love about a game when we're experiencing it for the first time ourselves, trying to go in and add to the discourse in some way. It's interesting. Rain World's active fan base earned the game cult status and a large modding community. Downpour was received positively by critics, and as DLC made of community-created content, significantly contributed to its status as a cult hit. Downpour sold 182,000 units on Steam and 280,000 units from March 2022 to February 2023. Interesting. So, I'm going to read off a few of these points and then maybe respond to them in kind here. Rain World's gameplay. So, broadly speaking, the Metacritic scores. PC, it's at a 66 out of 100. PS4, 59 out of 100. Switch, 71 out of 100. Generally, it gets somewhere between a 5 and a 7 from outlets. The highest I see highlighted here briefly is PC Gamer with an 8. Rain World's gameplay frustrated reviewers who often descended into apathy. Again, I don't know why the reception part of this article is so chunky, but here we are. Considering the sudden deaths, infrequent checkpoints, frequent repetition, punitive rain, inexplicable enemy... Who wrote this? Inexplicable enemy movements and clumsy controls. IGN wrote that these elements taken alone would be tough but fair, but when considered together, the odds are stacked so high against the player that it risks toppling the entire structure of the game. Though Game Informer recognized the game's intent to simulate the slug cat's suffering in a punishing, mysterious environment, they felt the lack of assistance, terrible controls, and unpredictable enemy movements ruined the result. They did not complete the game to provide a score. Wow. One reviewer wrote about futility as a central tenet of Rain World and felt that she was not given the proper tools to survive. Critics especially lamented how the slug cat's jerky animations and imprecise throwing mechanics led to unwanted deaths. Rock, Paper, Shotgun compared hypothetical instructions for these throwing mechanics to a bizarre legal document. Reviewers concluded that while some hardcore players might enjoy its gameplay, Rain World excluded a large audience with its design choices. Yeah. Some critics fondly recalled unique in-game encounters as they learned the environment's unwritten rules. Unaware of how foreign figures would react, Rock, Paper, Shotgun treated new encounters as puzzles. Rain World was abundant with opportunities for a player to demonstrate ingenuity, according to GameSpot, whose highlights included making a mouse into a dark room's lantern, using weapons as climbable objects, and luring enemies into battle to distract from the slug cat. This factor was lacking in mainstream gaming, according to PC Games N, highlighting that learning to manipulate and crisscross the behaviors of Rain World's menagerie resulted in exhilaration. So, fairly divisive, I think, is the net from that. And again, I think there's points where you can agree with both sides. And I'm kind of the mind that while there may be a lot of benefits and satisfaction in overcoming a lot of these challenges, part of what often causes a lot of friction with not just game reviewers, but, general gaming audiences is that lack of accessibility, especially when you're first starting out. Now, people will complain that games are too easy as is, and that, game reviewers give games bad scores just because they're bad at it. And we've certainly been accused of that. See our Sonic R review. I'm not bad at Sonic R, but I do think it objectively has terrible controls. This is a similar kind of situation where I feel like... Even now I'm just noticing there was some sun setting effects with, through a shining grate, and there were some orange streaks that are gone now because it's nighttime. He's going to hibernate and starve, I guess. But I am still on for it. We're winding down and talking about the summary thoughts on Rain World. Again, I can see it either way. There's appeal to overcoming those obstacles and that struggle and figuring it all out for yourself. It does risk alienating players who would otherwise be interested, though. I assume something like the remix mode helps a lot with that. A lot of those reviews were written of the original release, I'm assuming before remix mode even existed. So there's probably other ways to get more familiar with this game and have it be less of a friction point for you. I do think it is frustrating. I do think it's challenging and maybe a little too much so. And I do understand where people would sort of just throw their hands up and say this isn't worth it, because it is so punishing. Moments like we saw there, and the reviewers hinted at it, where I was in a room for 3 to 5 seconds, not even able to get my bearings, and something swoops in and immediately kills me. When you have, and that's not for lack of preparation on your end, right? When you have basically insta-kills in a game that is so unforgiving and takes so much time to gain ground again relative to where you were, that's a lack of incentive to explore. And that puts timidness into you when you want to be courageous and adventurous. And that is kind of antithetical, I think, to the rest of the game design, which is unfortunate. And so to kind of break it down there, yeah, honestly, what it mostly has going for it is its art style. It's a gorgeous game. It is so creatively animated with the procedural animation, everything's so goopy and fluid, and that's wonderful. And again, I wonder if that's almost a little bit of a bait and switch for players who aren't expecting it, because they come in maybe expecting something a little more accessible, something that they can sort of bop around in and feel like, they can not have that sense of friction, and then, they get clobbered and genuine. And I mean, that even with, you saw the amount of progress I needed chat's help to make. If I was doing this on my own, I would be pulling what's left of my hair out probably. So it is tough. Sonic R is the best soundtrack of all time. That's a separate stream. I've never really, so here we go. What's Leaflin saying here? Going in completely blind for this is hard. I never shame anyone for needing tips to make things easier, and that's honestly fine. Where I think the difference comes in is give players the option to have those tips. I think Remix Mode addresses that, right? Being able to lower that barrier to entry and just let people experience the game. It's sort of like shaming someone for not completing The Last of Us on hardcore or whatever, right? People just want to experience the story. Give them the easy option. Don't difficulty shame. That's okay. Same kind of thing here. If you can make it more accessible to people who will experience the game and bond with you over it and join in the fandom, does that not benefit everyone? You still have the original experience, but the options are nice. I've never really looked at the ratings. It's fascinating how mixed it is. I totally get it, though. Even if I come off as a representative of the very passionate fandom. And I think that is indicative of the experience, too, where you will often have these really divisive experiences that some hate and some really love. Vinny was saying before, you either love it or you hate it, and that really seems to be the case with this as well. I mean, I would obviously need to play a lot more before I feel comfortable giving it some kind of score and doing a proper review, but I can understand the trajectory it puts you on to get something like a 5 or a 6, if you consider 5 your average score. So it's interesting. Still waiting for the Firebreak, the FBZ Firebreak review. One at a time. Man, we got a lot coming up, and that's actually a really good segue into the programming notes for the evening before we take off. So it's going to be a busy week, I think. We've officially rolled over into the 28th, Wednesday, January 28th. If all goes well, we will have another pre-release impressions video for you sometime today. That will be for Demon Tides, the new expressive 3D platformer from Fabraz, the Bubsy 4D folks. So we got an early preview look at that game and have been really enjoying it, spoiler alert. So we have a stream on that with our first couple hours of gameplay. We'll have a polished pre-release kind of impressions video for you at some point today, the 28th, if all goes well, and we'll go from there. And then hopefully there may be one other one this week that I think Justin and Teresa are working on in the background. So we will check in with them, see if we're trending toward release this week as well. And then going forward, at some point over the next couple of weeks, Teresa, Sari Serial, will also have an additional review. And this one's not even mine. She's leading that one on a space RTS that she's working on. And we will have a full review of Riftbound Spirit Forge, the second set of the League of Legends trading card game, in probably a couple of weeks as we approach as we approach with Sari review. I think so. The next two after Demon Tides, I think, are going to be Bologna and or Sari. If all goes well, we should have something for you on the 30th that Justin and Teresa are spearheading. And Teresa's been working on, like I said, a Space RTS in the background. And hopefully that'll be ready in the next couple of weeks. So, lots coming up. Looking forward to it. So, I know a lot of folks came through and subbed and followed, and that's awesome. We thank you so much for the support. Take a look at the YouTube channel if you want more stuff like that. We have, we're approaching 40 different reviews of old, hidden gems from, retro generations past, a bunch of new indie stuff. We just did a pre-release impressions on body horror, public domain, deck building, auto battler, Winnie's Hole. So that's been doing really well, and that's worth a look if that sort of thing appeals to you. The one place uncorrupted by capitalism. Surprise! Surprise Tim Curry impression. You didn't think I could do one, but I can. And he just has so much fun in that game. What's that? That's Command & Conquer Red Alert 3. Bonkers cast. Absolutely phenomenal cast. It's just the most over-the-top, insane, campy thing in the world. Fucking Tim Curry, Jonathan Pryce, George Takei, all these Peter Stormare. How did they do it? J.K. Simmons. What are we doing? Tim Curry review when? Would you like me to do the whole thing? Is not in as Nigel. He does. It's pretty good. Maybe we will do. Maybe we'll insert that into the Space RTS review. We're going to the one place uncorrupted by capitalism. Surprise! And that'll be fun. I won't tell her. That'll be proof. If she's watching these streams, then we'll know. Sari, I'm tagging on a Tim Curry impression at the end of the review. Anyway, that's gonna have to do it for us tonight. Again, consider subscribing to the YouTube channel or following here on Twitch for more live streams just like this. This is technically the end of Discovery Month, but we do hop on all sorts of different indie games from time to time, and we certainly review enough of them, so we like to keep up with the space. Give it a look if you're so inclined. We got reviews, we got pre-release impressions, we got convention coverage, PAX East, PAX West, PAX Unplugged, Riftbound stuff. Ugh. It's getting real busy up in here, so hopefully you're along for the ride. Thank you, Leaflin. Yeah, we're glad you stopped in too. Appreciate it, and hopefully we'll be seeing you around again as well. Red Alert review while wearing a bad Tim Curry Pennywise costume. No, I'm going to be his character in Home Alone 2 and do it. I hope there will be more of Rain World if your first impression didn't scare you off too much. I would consider coming back to it, and if nothing else, it's something that I may hack away at off screen for a while and do a proper review of, just to get these kind of thoughts a little more oriented. But yeah, we'll consider picking it back up. I'll make that decision and have to figure that out, whether we play it off camera and do a review, or we pick it back up live, or both. We'll see what happens. But yeah, appreciate you stopping in. Thank you to all, and hope you enjoyed the look at my blind playthrough of Rain World. Definitely not what I expected, for better and for worse, so that was interesting. All right, that'll have to do it for us. Thanks so much for watching. Stay fresh, cheese bags. Oh, she is watching. See, we were just about to go, and she popped back in. Sari is here. Hello from Vague Ass. She made it to Las Vegas in one piece. Let's get some live updates. You're going to have content for us. It's going to be a busy... I was teasing what you got working on, what you got in the hopper. Vague Ass mentioned. Oh, bye. No, we're still here. We're still here. Vague Ass mentioned Fallout review when. How much do y'all want me to... All right. Well, we're kicking all of our asses into gear, I guess. We're going to make a note here in our beautiful little Whitethorn notepad of everything that we apparently need to review here that's not on the radar. So, Sari mentioned Celeste review when. I don't know, Sari, when you doing a Celeste review? All right, so what we have to do Command & Conquer Red Alert 3. We got to do... And the Discord. Thank you for the comment there, Fort. We do have the Discord if you need another one. A bunch of exclamations. Surprise! Yeah, we have Celeste we gotta do. Which Fallout? You gotta be more specific. There's a few of them. Fallout 76, best Fallout. 5 stars, no notes. We're giving away our first 5 Gloobies on I don't even know which game she's talking about. There's multiple in the hopper. Come on. That's my Celeste review. Yeah, I could see that. So now you know. Spoiler alert. Fallout, Command and Conquer. What the hell else were we gonna? Tim Curry. How the hell do I review an entire person? We'll figure it out. Fallout New Vegas. There is some love for Fallout New Vegas, always. New Vegas. New Vegas. We'll work on it. I don't know if we'll work on it. All right. I think that'll probably have to do it for us. Any more comments from Sari, drop them here and we'll leave it live for another minute or two. Thanks so much for watching. Stay fresh, cheese bags. We got some stuff. We got a lot coming up. It's going to be a fun few days. We'll catch you back here real soon. Whew.